Hey, I'm John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper. And you're watching the Son of Celluloid show. Son of Celluloid! 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 Son of Celluloid!
I just want to apologize to the families of everyone that came out here in the woods to make this movie with me. This is all my fault. It was my movie. It was my idea. And now I'm going to make this video so someone knows what happens when someone inevitably comes traipsing through the woods and finds my discarded camera. So we came out here to make this movie. And then we got lost. And weird stuff started happening, man. I mean, people started developing Parkinson's disease for no reason every time they picked up the camera. There's some kind of witch, creature, monster thing stalking us through here, but that's not what really freaks me out. Because we knew the legends before we came out here. I think someone else is out here with us. Because these camera angles that I couldn't have possibly shot, because I'm the only one out here with a camera, keep showing up. And we have no idea where they came from. I don't know who these phantom cameramen are. The script doesn't mention them. The movie doesn't set up that anyone else is out here with us with a camera. So I have no idea what's going on. Oh my God, there's one over there! And another one over there! I'm really starting to get freaked out. I don't know where they came from. I don't know if someone either followed us here into the woods and has been filming us this whole time and they know where we are, but we don't. Or maybe monster, creature, witch thing hired a camera crew of his or her own. Or maybe the director just doesn't know what they're doing. Found footage flicks.
His interviews come from the darkest pits of hell.
I've heard you tell a story before in interviews that when you were a little girl, you got grounded for sneaking out to a horror movie at one point.
You had to find that somewhere obscure.
But I heard you tell the story, but you never said what you went and saw. Do you remember what movie it was?
The Colossus of New York.
Nice.
The Colossus of New York. That was a town of about, I think, 1,200 people, Loop City, Nebraska. I lived there for 1 year in the 5th grade, and I'd been in that movie theater owned by my girlfriend, Elaine Slemensky. See, I'm getting this out.
Shout out,
her
Elaine.
Family, and I lived a block away from it in town, the movie theater, and there were coming attractions of the Colossus of New York, and I'd never thought, I've been so excited in my life. So I cooked this up. I invited a girl, Jackie Tucker.
Right.
If people hear these names,
Hi, Jackie.
right? Hi, Jackie. Jackie Tucker to come sleep over, and we were planning to go to it was a midnight show only. Okay. One showing, midnight show. We were going to she was sleeping over, and we were going to sneak out, and I'd worked it all out and go see the movie and then come home. Well, we did it. We got out, we saw the movie, and after the movie there was a little all-night cafe between the movie theater and our house. And we were walking back, and I said, well, we're hungry. Well, let's get something to eat.
Right.
So we went in and we got something to eat. And of course, the owner of that place called my parents. It was now 3:30 in the morning or whatever it was. It was after Colossus of New York. And they said, your daughter and Miss Tucker are in, I think you should know.
Busted.
Busted. Busted. If we hadn't been pigs, we could have gone home, sneaked in, and nobody would have known.
Right.
But meanwhile, I was grounded for some time.
But was seeing the flick worth it?
You bet.
Excellent.
And so is
Good
actually, you know, in retrospect, so is having the balls to do it.
Right.
You know, I thought, wow.
Yeah, experience is, you know, the most valuable thing you can have, right?
Well, I never got to see the creature of Black Lagoon until I was an adult, but I loved the posters and everything that people told me about it. So I had an old green sleeping bag from my dad had from Army days, and I used to terrorize every party my parents would give. Like especially the bridge ones were good because they were all so serious, and I'd come out going ooh in this green thing.
Nice.
And I just because I knew something about it, I loved the idea of the creature. So.
Right. And now it's time for Great Horror Quotes
with Joe's mom.
This episode, They Live.
I have come here to kick ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
This has been Great Horror Quotes
with Joe's Mom.
Now, you actually just finished working on your first feature. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
No, not at all. No.
All right. Secretive. All right. That was Jason Hoover back at Days of the Dead Atlanta in 2013, refusing to tell me a damn thing about his first feature. Well, luckily, it turns out it was well worth the wait to find out about that feature, because it's I Am No One, killer new flick from Jabb Pictures, and this episode's Indie Horror Spotlight. It's a documentary-style film following a serial killer by the name of Charles Lake throughout Chicago. Now, it's not just one of those watch me kill type of movies, although that is, a big, ingredient in the flick. It's more about delving into his psyche and getting into his head and seeing what kind of darkness lies in there. You take the mechanics of a movie like Man Bites Dog, mix it with the spirit of Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, and you've got I Am No One. Now, there's three things that really stick out and make me want to recommend this movie to you. Number one is the writing. Now, Jason wrote all the stuff that Charles Lake says in the interviews, and it's chilling. Actually pretty thought-provoking. Charles Lake isn't one of those one-dimensional type of serial killers you see in movies all the time. He's really well fleshed out, and a lot of that comes through, subtle touches like when in the conversation he decides to reveal certain things, and the way he phrases stuff. So little things that, really make it effective. Now, all the good writing in the world wouldn't be worth anything if you didn't have good acting to bring it out. Now, Mike Nall plays Charles Lake, and I actually picked him as Son of Celluloid's best actor of 2013. He is incredible in this flick. He's one scary dude. Now, the temptation in a movie like this to play it over the top, but I like what he did. He played the character real low-key. It's kind of like you can never really tell if you're really catching him in a calm moment or if he's just coiled to strike. It makes it very, very effective that way. Jason tells me that Mike is not actually an actor by trade, which is interesting because apparently that dude has one hell of a natural gift. He can say more with a look than a lot of more seasoned veteran actors can in a monologue. Now, Jason actually does some pretty good acting too. He's always behind the camera. You never see him. So it's kind of hard to describe the way the acting goes, but the relationship between the two characters is very organic, and the progression is very real, and it adds a great element of realism to it. Occasionally, the character of Charles kind of goes into that territory sometimes you get in serial killer movies, where the believability's tested. You're like, you don't understand how a character this messed up could actually exist in the real world without having been caught by now. But then you start to think. You think back to the people you know and have met over the years that are kind of like Charles, and you think, maybe I could have run into this dude throughout my lifetime. That's the truly scary part. Now, the third thing that makes me recommend this movie is the final scene. That climactic scene, I'm not going to give anything away, but it is the most intense thing I have seen on film in years. That one scene is worth the price of the DVD alone. Now, speaking of the DVD, it is available at Jabb Pictures' website. I'll put that URL, you guessed it, right down there. While you're there, you can pick up all 6 volumes of The Collective, all kinds of other goodness on display there. So head on over there, pick yourself up a copy of I Am No One, tell them the Son of Celluloid sent you, and support independent horror.
To the cemetery gates, oh, she contemplates the meaning of her fate. Says to her prayers the barren would not dig her grave. Simply stated she'd have to wait another day. She hangs out in reverend zombies. She claims her home's on Bourbon Street. When you say dancer, you mean stripper. Never got your cheese.
took a look at your website beforehand, and they mentioned a performance of Frankenstein that you gave at age 11. Oh, that apparently made a neighbor girl very upset. Can you tell us anything about that performance?
Yeah, I have an identical twin brother, and we used to put on these carnivals in the backyard and theatrical performances in the garage. So I wrote a script for Frankenstein. I played Dr. Frankenstein, and we had this kid from up the street, Howard Barkin, who was enormous 8-year-old kid. I mean, huge. So we did a performance, and neighborhood kids gave us a penny each, and they'd sit down and watch this play. And it was so scary to this one girl, this neighborhood heartthrob, Darlene Baker or something like that, that she went running out into the driveway and peed in her pants all over the driveway. She was so scared by what we did in the garage. It was very funny.
Did that endear you to Miss Neighborhood Heartthrob, or did she steer clear from there on out?
My memory is kind of vague about it.
Gotcha. That's it for this episode, Cellmates. Make sure you leave comments right down there. Email me at fromhell13@aol.com if you got questions or suggestions. Make sure you head on over to www.sonofcelluloid.com because I've still got that giveaway going on for an autographed copy of the Casket Creatures new EP. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you know every time I put out a new video. You know you want to be there to see it. So, from all of us here at Celluloid Central to all of you, see you next time. Whoa, wait, one more thing. The spirit of one whose inspiration once flowed through these veins in the days of celluloid past has heard the call of the ancient warriors and returned to parts unknown. Rest in peace, ultimate warrior. Now, can we please stop with the deaths for a minute? I don't want to have to end every episode with a tribute to a fallen childhood hero.
His interviews come from the